Well, greetings, Cap fans. Welcome to episode 278 of the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast. I'm your host, Rick Verbanis, and I've got a co host. He is the best gosh darn one out there. His name is Bob Lucius. Oh, Bob, trust not the horse, O Trojans, be it what it may. I fear the Grecians even when they offer gifts.
Nice. Nice, Rick. You channel a little Homer there.
No! No, that was not Homer's Odyssey.
It wasn't the
No,
Iliad.
I know.
Yeah.
I would have
Nice.
guessed the same, but it's
Yeah.
not.
It's not. Who is it?
It's from the Aeneid,
Aeneid.
which is a
Yeah.
Latin poem
Yeah.
by
Roman.
the
Yeah.
Virgil,
Yeah.
somewhere 20 years before BC.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I was just reading an article about Virgil.
Oh, were you?
I was actually, it was an article in the Atlantic, and it was about Dante's
Inferno?
Paradiso. No, but the
Oh,
Paradiso. Yeah.
okay.
But the Inferno, if you recall, Virgil was his guide.
Hmm.
So yeah, interesting.
I seem to recall there was a Dante's Inferno reference I did to open up one episode,
I
and
think you might have.
you didn't get that one.
I didn't, yeah, probably
You
not.
struggled. Oh, you struggled on the.
It's
You were like,
years. I
oh
haven't read that
yeah,
in years, but it piqued
yeah.
my interest that like maybe I'll read it, pick it up. I haven't read it since probably I
Hmm.
was in my late 20s.
Yeah, it's been a
So
while.
yeah.
Yeah, Bob, why am I greeting you with a Virgil quote?
Well, it is the title of tonight's story,
Is
Rick.
it?
Well, kind of Trojan Horde.
That's right.
Oh
Yeah,
man, I gave it away.
it's a play on words.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Doggone it. Now I can't go Trojan Horde.
Oh, you can.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. All
All
right,
right.
listeners, just
Yeah.
pretend you didn't hear that.
Yeah. Man, we are cultured.
I
Really,
guess so.
we are two classy guys on this
Yeah,
show.
that's we should put that in the description. In fact, I would love the next 5-star review on Apple when they give a review. I want it to be two classy Cap fans.
That's our two wild and classy guys.
Uh huh. Yeah, that's us.
Taking us back.
Bob, what's going on with you? If you're listening today on the day it comes out, Bob, it would be February 11th. What's going on with
Yeah.
you?
I'm stressing, Rick, because
Why is
as
that?
you know, V
Mm-hmm.
Day is right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a game plan yet.
Uh-oh.
So tell me you don't, because I don't want to be flying solo out here.
I have a game plan
It's a concept of a
because
plan or a real plan.
no. It's a real plan
Okay.
with tickets and everything.
Wow. Yeah, that's
But I could take no credit. My wife and I
yeah.
were reached out to by a friend of ours, and there was like 6 of us on the chat, 3 couples,
Yeah.
and she was like, "Hey, who's interested on Valentine's Day doing a Sherlock Holmes murder mystery dinner theater?" And I was like, "Hey, surprise, honey! That was my thought all along."
That's what I
That's
was gonna get you. They read my mind.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Those are fun. Is it like a dinner theater thing?
yeah.
Super fun.
It's here in New Jersey,
Yeah.
and it's from 8 to 10:30.
Yeah.
$50 per person,
Yeah. Well,
and it
dinner.
does not include booze.
Oh yeah. No, of course not. That's where they get you.
I know.
That's where they get you.
You get a salad, entree, and a dessert.
Yeah, that's nice. Like Casey and I think we did one of those years and years ago,
Hmm.
maybe in San Francisco or something. Fun. Good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good time. Especially if you're doing with some other couples.
yeah. I think that would be the key.
Yeah.
That way we can all kind of guess on who done it,
Right.
and
Yeah.
and mock people.
Right.
We could be like those rotten high schoolers in the back of the room,
Yeah.
like going whatever.
Right. Well, I'm glad it's not an escape room because that way, at least I know you're going to make it to the next show.
That's true.
So
How many escape rooms have you done?
I haven't done any escape rooms. Yeah.
Ever?
No, I've never done an escape room.
What?
No.
Oh man, I gotta tell you, it is so mediocre. Uh, it sounds great in concept, and it is a night out, and you're doing something different,
Yeah.
but it could sometimes be a little monotonous.
All right. Well, Rick, you
Uh,
know that I am trained to not just fabricate, but wear a lockpick kit in my butt crack. So we've
yes,
covered this before. So
yes, we did. Yeah, in case
escape
you're in
room.
a
Yeah.
tied with your hands behind your back in
In
a
a
trunk of
trunk.
a
Right.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm ready, in case he puts me in an escape room, which I wouldn't put past him. So my timeout room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've done a few. I've done, I don't know. I could probably count them on one hand. Um, we took Meg and I took my daughter maybe 5 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was the whole theme was a Christmas story.
Okay.
And so there was you're stuck in a room and you have to get out, and then you get to another room and get to another room, and the whole thing is by a certain time, and there's a
Yeah.
countdown clock, you have to find the uh the 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 BB rifle,
Okay.
and you have to do all these different clues and do
Yeah.
different
Right.
things, and of course everything is done in the style of like you're in
Oh
the house.
wow.
So yes,
That's
that was kind of fun.
that's neat. But the walls don't are they don't like start closing in or anything.
No, no,
And there's
no.
not like
You're
a
in a
lava
completely
floor.
different, and that's not an escape room. That's like a
Okay.
torture room.
Maybe I've watched too much Bond. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Lava on the floor. You tell me as a kid you used to
Of
pretend,
course.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Right.
floor is lava.
Floor's lava. Yeah. Too hot to
Yeah.
touch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. My wife tried. We used to play when my son was little. We played pillow push.
What's that?
Basically, we all have pillows, out on the
Mm-hmm.
couch, and we just like push each other as hard as we could, and push them back on the couch or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So haven't done it for years. The other night, my son was just standing there minding his own business next to the couch. And Casey came out of nowhere with a big pillow, went, pillow push, and like hit him as hard. He didn't know what hit him.
How to react.
Oh, he was stunned for a minute.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, it's pillow push, remember? And of course he doesn't remember because he was like 3.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
What are you
But
doing, Mom?
that's exactly right. Yeah. I got a good
Yeah.
laugh out of it though.
So with my kids when they were little, we used to play tickles. That was just,
Tickles.
I would be
Yeah.
like, "Do you want to play tickles?" And then the kids would run,
Right.
and
Right.
then we'd get
Yeah.
on the couch, and then the two of them would attack me, and I would tickle them back, and all that. And that was something we used to do for a few years. And then Hayden became really, really like ticklish, and like to the point where he would just kick wildly and indiscriminately and unapologetically and be
Right.
like,
Yeah.
"I warned you not to do that."
Don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
getting
that's
kicked
great.
in the
Yeah.
jaw or the
Oh
nuts
yeah.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah. We
Yeah, that was
I
fun.
had a basketball game tonight. My son plays basketball,
Hmm.
JV, and watching the game, and something happened, and we didn't know what happened. Right, we thought a player got hurt, but a player wasn't hurt, and then we saw one of the ref was like leaning over, like bent over at the waist, like, and they were
Oh
two
no.
old guys as refs, right? And he was like,
When you say old guys, they mean they're older than you?
no, probably my age. Yeah. And bent over and like for like 10 minutes, just like walking around the court, holding his stomach. And I'm like, what the heck happened? And like nobody saw anything that happened. But I like film like every play my son is in. So I was like,
Uh-huh.
oh, well, let me check my phone. I checked it. And like he barely got nudged, but he got hit right in the nuts.
Oh, poor guy.
I know. And all the women are like, why is he holding his stomach? And I'm like, it radiates.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with tickle, but
Uh-huh. Well, let's hope it wasn't.
it tickles. Yeah, that's that sort of event.
uh Oh, so what do you think your backup plan is going to be for Valentine's Day?
I don't know. We went, I got for our anniversary, we went off to this really, I think I told you about it before, the Hacienda, which is this old 1920s hotel. It's pink and
Hmm.
up in north of St. Augustine, small town. But we didn't get to go until, I guess, January. No, December, after my son
Hmm.
turned old enough to spend one night by himself. So I pulled the trigger on that one. So I don't know. We might do that again. We met this couple in the hotel, and they were visiting every pink hotel in Florida. That was their thing,
Uh-huh.
and they'd done like seven of them, and I think there were nine. So Casey and I talked about that and thought, man, maybe we'll do that, because I would much rather do that, Rick, than make another TikTok video. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Bob, that was great. A little meatloaf action. You got to know right now.
Yeah, right.
Um, yeah.
I was
So,
bullied.
and I laugh in the fact that you, first of all, you did an excellent job, and so did Casey.
Yeah.
The lip syncing, you guys we were fantastic. How many takes did you do? Just one?
First take, one take.
Okay.
Yeah.
And no, you guys did.
No excuse not to know that song, Rick.
That's true.
You
That's
know,
true. But I laugh because you're like, yeah, this was my way of getting out of taking down the Christmas tree. And I'm like, no, this was your way of postponing taking down the Christmas tree. You still gonna have to take it down.
I didn't, Rick. You know why? Because
Why?
I said I gotta go grocery shopping, and when I came home, it was done.
No.
Yeah, that's the key, man.
She put away in the box and everything?
Everything, it was all put away. Yeah,
How big's the tree?
I don't know. It's like an 8 footer, I guess.
Wow, good for her.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
wife wouldn't have done. Well, me, I don't know. I mean, I take it apart in three parts, and it goes into two boxes because the three
Mm-hmm.
parts that came in the one box won't fit
Yeah.
back in the one box.
That's
So,
right.
I,
I know exactly what you
yeah,
mean. Yeah.
yeah.
There's a lot of
Oh,
bungee cords involved. Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
good
she
for
did it
you.
all. I came home, everything was done. So what she put it all, well, I helped her hang up the ornaments, because I like doing that, because we have
Hmm.
discussions about all that sort of stuff. And we get a new ornament every year. But she even moved the furniture
Wow.
last time I came home. She took like a half a day off. I came home, everything was up except for the ornaments, and she had moved all the furniture in the living area.
Hmm.
So, and it's a huge couch. It's like a
Hmm.
big L-shaped couch, and she moved it all. So she finds that relaxing.
Okay, that's your
Yeah,
thing.
that's her thing.
That's cool.
So,
Is that her room? Is that like her
yeah,
room,
yeah,
like where she hangs out?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Same thing with my wife.
yeah,
Got the living room upstairs. That's kind of her room. Me, I have the basement.
yeah.
You know what I
I've
mean?
got the
Like,
office. Yeah,
yeah. So,
yeah.
oh, by the way, for our listeners, oh yeah, we have listeners. They're probably like, what the hell are you guys
Oh,
talking about?
yeah, right.
If you are interested and you haven't heard it in a while or you've never heard it, check out episode 123, episode 123, and that's when we did the top 10 Captain America love interests, and that was a lot of fun.
That was a
So,
good time. Yeah,
so something for Valentine's Day to pull out and maybe listen.
yeah, yeah. That's a blast from the past for sure.
Hmm.
You know.
So, Bob, I think we should probably get to today's issue. We are covering the second part of the Mad Bomb series, where Jack Kirby returns to Marvel, and he's on the Captain America series. And this is something that I think was done in 1975, but cover date in 76, and it leads up to the bicentennial, which happens July 4th, 1976, because it was done 1776. And we thought it'd be really cool to do this story leading up to, I don't know what you call our 250th anniversary, but we're leading up to that. And so this is our long tail story. So the second episode of the month, the second week of the month, we will be continuing this story. So you can just look forward to that, in March, right? The second week we'll do part three. And also, for those who maybe haven't checked out our YouTube channel, because we know the vast majority of you are on Apple and Spotify and actually listen to it. But if you are watching it and you go to YouTube, check out our channel because if you click on a link, uh, it says Home Videos Live Podcast Playlist. Click on Playlist because break it down, all these episodes, into various buckets. So, for example, if you want to see other long tail stories like The Return of the Red Skull, which we did last time, that's got its own bucket, or The Secret Empire, or The Nomad, or Streets of Poison. These all have their own buckets that you could do in. We also have a bucket that is just panel by panel dramas. We have buckets that are specials, like a top 10 list or an anniversary show. We have our recaps. We have other ones, of course, just interviews. So if you just want to check out the interviews, anyway, it's an easy way
Rick,
to
Rick,
find
is
stuff.
is there a is there a World War II bucket?
No,
Oh,
yeah,
missed
you just want to
opportunity.
create more work for me.
I just know how
You
popular
couldn't you,
those
you
stories
couldn't just
are.
be like, "Hey, Rick, that's cool. Wow, thanks for separating that for everybody. Wow, that's really really cool." No, you have to like try to find more work for me.
Just saying, a lot of people love those stories.
Do they?
Could be a poll. I don't know.
Oh gosh. All right, let's get to Captain America 194. Bob, you want to take people through the cover?
Yeah, it's a funky cover, Rick. It's got a lot going on here. We're looking at a hillside, and we see Captain America in the foreground, sort of leaning toward us with his shield at the ready. And then we see this big honking dude, and it looks like Frankenstein's monster. And he's purple, by the way, Rick. We got a purple
Mm-hmm.
monster with green pants and a yellow shirt sleeveless shirt.
That's
And
ripped.
yeah, it's ripped, and he's holding Falcon in his right hand. Now, in just his right hand. So this is a big, monstrous dude. And then in the background, we see a number of what looks to be maybe soldiers or guards, but
Mm-hmm.
they got some odd headwear on. Rick, they look
Mm-hmm.
like Hessian Fusiliers for crying out loud. So
You know that's what I was going to say. Hessian Fusiliers.
were you going to say that? Yeah, I know we're so often on the same wavelength. It just freaks me. But there's pointy helmets that the Hessian soldiers are renowned for wearing, particularly in the Revolutionary War. They're you know often depicted that way with those. And they often look like cone heads, I guess. Maybe that's more.
Yeah,
Maybe you
there
get
you
that.
go.
Yeah, cone heads.
Mm.
Dan Aykroyd and Jane
Jane
Curtin.
Curtin.
Right. Yeah. So there's a lot going on here, Rick. I'm not sure what's going down.
Do you want to read what it says? The captions?
Sure, it's a cataclysmic Kirby action in the mind-boggling Marvel manner. See Cop and the Falcon battle for their lives against the Trojan Horde.
There you go. If you were in 1976 and this was on the shelf, what would you think? You think you'd pick it up?
I undoubtedly would pick it up because
Yeah.
I'm a Cap fan. But it
Okay.
would. But even if I wasn't, I think this would catch my interest, right?
Yeah, sure.
Because there's a lot going on here.
And we are back to Captain America and the Falcon, as opposed to the last
Yeah,
issue where they made room for, you know, the Mad Bomb and Kirby's back and all that kind of stuff. So Falcon is back on the cover. So is Red Wing, and so is his name. 25 cents got you this, Bob. And the release date was November 11th, 1975. Cover date, February 1976. 50 years ago
wow.
this month. Now, the creators, well, the cover was Jack Kirby and then inked by Frank Giacoia. And then, as far as the story is concerned, well, this is a Jack Kirby story. So it's written by Jack Kirby, penciled by Jack Kirby, edited by Jack Kirby, inked by Frank Giacoia, colorist Janice Cohen, and letterer Gasper Saldino. I love that name.
Yeah.
All right, let me grab my copy. And uh, this is a really beat up copy. I did not buy this new. All right, so we open it up to the opening splash page, and there's a little uh, preamble before we get to the title. And it says in the headline, "Don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes. And it says, an American hero said that in simpler days. Who said that, Bob?
Well, it's often attributed to Israel Putnam of Connecticut, Rick. But sometimes it's also attributed to, I think, William Prescott of Massachusetts
Mm. During the
during the Battle of Bunker Hill. And
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Hey, when I was a kid, I grew up on Bunker Hill Road.
Did you really?
Yeah,
I'll be
different
darned.
state, but they
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
very famous. Most
My
people. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was going to say my neighborhood had all these different names. They had like Bunker Hill Road, Saratoga, uh,
Okay.
some
Yorktown,
yeah, it
probably.
had all
Yeah,
these yeah, all
probably
those
had
names.
that. A
Yeah.
lot of revolutionary names.
Hmm.
I grew up outside of Boston, so very, very familiar with Revolutionary War history there. Been to the Bunker Hill Monument many times
Hmm.
on field trips and day trips, stuff like that. But most folks don't remember that the Battle of Bunker Hill took place largely next door on the battle on Breed's Hill, and that's in fact where the Bunker Hill Monument is.
You know why people don't remember that, Bob? Because they weren't there.
That's true, but I
They
thought we
can't
teach that, don't we?
remember that.
We teach that stuff, don't we? Still,
Okay.
Battle of Bunker Hill.
Don't fire till you see the whites of their eyes. An American hero said that in simpler days, when men confronted each other in armed combat. But this is the age of the superhero versus the super threat. And no menace ever devised by conspirators has begun to loom as large as the plot uncovered in the heart of the United States. And the title to this one is Bob.
The Trojan Horde.
And we see Cap and Falcon in uniform sitting back to back, with a cushion in between them. And they have contraptions on their head. And they're in a room that is got all kinds of Kirby gear, right? The contraption on the head and the background. I mean, it's just all these kind of machinations that you could only see from the mind of Kirby. And you see a couple of men that are working on some equipment, and they've got headsets on, and they're monitoring these two heroes who are back to back. Another day, another brain blast. Hang on, Falcon. When this is over, we could take leave of our government chums and their little top secret installation and walk into what? More secret hideouts? More brain blasts? My guess is that the enemy has all this too. Prepare for maximum charge. And we turn the page, and wowzers. This gorgeous double page splash by the King Kirby. And you see here Captain America in some sort of, I don't know, disaster, but like, what do they call those? End of the world type of
Like an apocalyptic
apoc. Yes.
dystopian sort of,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. And the horde there, of course, all with a Kirby face, with their mouth as big as can possibly be.
With square teeth, yeah.
Yeah. And all yelling and screaming, and some are holding guns and pitchforks and sticks and wrenches and pipes. And it's in the background, you see disheveled buildings, and you see all the Kirby crackle going on in the skyline. And then what else do you see, Bob?
Well, you see some mad bombs, Rick.
And how would you describe these mad bombs?
Well, there's three of them depicted on this page, right? So we have a very tiny one, we've got a middling size one, and then we've got a super duper size one. And the super duper size one, they're all shaped like a very large capsule, like if you had a Tylenol capsule, right? Can I say that? Is that product placement? Anyway, it looks that shape. And it's got a bunch of electrodes all over it with interconnected wires. But the largest one, we see a cutout at the upper portion, and inside is what looks to be some sort of brain.
Mm-hmm. And it reads, Cap tries to visualize the enemy, but he can't. Like all conspirators, they are vague, undefinable shadows, but their works are Satan's own tools, fiendish devices which have already reaped a deadly harvest. What Cap sees are the mad bombs. This is Peanut. The mind waves transmitted by this hellish object caused the citizens of a small town to wipe their village off the map. Dumpling was capable of destroying a heavily populated city, and that's the medium one that Bob referred to. But the quote unquote Big Daddy, America's must fear, for this behemoth is primed to be detonated at the first hour of the nation's bicentennial. If Big Daddy isn't found and diffused, his mind waves will destroy the United States by turning it into a madhouse. The Falcon and I must stop this nightmare from happening. We must. Let me turn the page. At that moment, a voice from the power booth cuts mercifully into Cap's dismal daydreaming. Okay, we're ready to proceed. Yes. Fire away. Fire away, says the man, as if this was a target practice. And what is facing our heroes, Bob?
Yeah, so the artist has pulled out a little bit here because previously we just saw them sitting back to back with some headgear on, but now we see two very large cannons of some sort, and one is pointed at each of their faces. Each of them is painted. Anyway, it's painted at Cap and Falcon, Rick.
These measures are for your own protection, men. They're meant to immunize you against the enemy's chief weapon, mind waves. We've heard all that. Let's relax, Falcon. I'm as tense as you are, but we've got to take these tests if we're to tackle this assignment. I don't dig these gadgets, don't like this headgear. It won't help when they hit us with the whopper. Then, circuits open, charge released, and we see this huge Kirby crackle go all around him. In fact, the sound effect is
Crackle!
mighty energy bolts are hurled at Cap and the Falcon. They surge with the strange elements that course through the human mind, like the lightning of the gods. Their brilliance hides the faces of the targets. And it is, there's like, I don't know, fiery smoke around both of their heads. The sound of increasing power grows louder, louder, until it fills the chamber. Then
Wham!
a deep silence ensues. It's a disturbing and frightening silence. They're not moving. Do you suppose? It was a calculated risk, but they had to get that maximum charge. I hope that I haven't. Wait, look, they're alive. Soon after, the two superheroes are surrounded by concerned personnel. And they're pulling them off of where they were seated and taking their head contraptions off. But they appear to be unconscious. Call the medics, quickly! He's okay, merely stunned, that's all. Don't play with words. If not for these diffusion helmets, we'd have been minus two superheroes. And two of the best at that. Meanwhile, in an exclusive suburb somewhere in the heart of the land. General Hessian to see you, sir. Come in, Hessian, come in. You caught me at a most inspiring moment. I came to report our own growing army of mercenaries. I didn't come here to admire an antiquated nonsense. I intend to wear this costume at a ball I shall give when this nation's bicentennial arrives. And what is this man wearing?
Well, he's definitely wearing colonial era attire, down to the powdered wig Rick, and the long top coat with tails that goes along with it.
And we turn the page and we get to see them a little more up close. There, you must admit that I bear a striking resemblance to my ancestor, Sir William Torrey, an aristocrat of the finest quality. And he points to a painting. This country had aristocracy then, men born to be served, men who lived above the common rabble. The Declaration of Independence did away with the elite, but we shall change all that once again. I tell you, Hessian, when our coup is accomplished, I shall destroy that document on prime time television. Democracy shall die. Ancestor worship may drive you to change history. I am content to do it for personal gain. The world is crawling with your kind. We Tories have no need for money. We were born rich. We were born to power. Revenge is what I seek. Revenge for the noble death of Atari. I seek the descendant of this man. And he reaches over to a desk and pulls the top drawer out, and he pulls a picture in a frame. Ah, so the hunter has discovered a lead to his quarry. You've undoubtedly spared no expense to find this old portrait. I must say that he's quite a handsome fellow. He was a swine, a so-called patriot, who killed my ancestor in a duel. It appears that this man was also a soldier. He was a rebel, a traitor to his king. He was Captain Stephen Rogers of the Continental Army. What?
Hold on, Rick. How is that possible?
It's Jack Kirby.
He pays no heed. Well, I should say no one else paid any heed to him. Perhaps. I don't know.
I guess there's a Stephen Rogers that bears an uncanny resemblance to our leading
Right.
man.
But Joseph and Sarah were Irish immigrants. How is this possible?
I it's Jack
The,
Kirby comics. I don't know,
it's the magic of comics.
but perhaps this duel he fought with your ancestor. It may have been caused by a simple dispute. No, Sir William tried to warn the British of Washington's approach when he was intercepted by this dog, Rogers, and he pours himself a glass of wine. They dueled, my ancestor died, and history was changed. But this time things shall be different. Stephen Rogers has one living descendant, a despicable weakling who was rejected by the army in World War II. He vanished soon after that. But even after 30 years, I'll find him and finish him. After all, he still bears his ancestor's name. He calls himself Steve Rogers. Dun dun dun.
Let me get this right. Steve Rogers and
Mm-hmm.
his ancestor is Steve Rogers, and
Mm-hmm.
William Towery and his ancestor is William Towery. We're the sir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What's your son's name?
Okay. Point taken.
Okay. At that moment, Tari's quarry is recovering. I want to say that a lot. Tari's quarry.
Do it. Yeah, I like that.
Mhm. At that moment, Tari's quarry is recovering rapidly in the service of his country. And we see Steve laying in bed, and uh, a bed not too far from him is Sam laying in bed. And they both have their shirts off, Bob.
Well, in fairness, there's a nightstand between them, right?
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. But
But
this
why
is
did that? Why
70s.
did,
Everybody sleeps with their shirts off.
I guess.
Yeah.
That last test really put me under, Falcon. I had the strangest dream. Me too. I dreamt that my body was supplying power for all the lights on Broadway. All kidding aside, I dreamt about my ancestor, Stephen Rogers. He fought in the Revolution, you know. And Sam's kind of laying on his side with his back to Steve, not looking at him. Hooray for him. Chances are that he owned a farm with a lot of singing black slaves. I can't really say, friend. He left a diary when he died. It remained in the family for generations, but I don't recall reading anything in it about slaves. Don't go on with that hero jive. Your boy had a stake in that revolution. My family still worked that farm. Probably true. Yet, this was a time when men began to turn away from injustice. It took 200 years, Falcon, but this country's grown up. And Steve at this point is up with a robe on, but Sam's still laying in bed. Jive, it's still trying, friend. I'll stake my life on that. And coming into the room is a doctor. You know how you can tell it's a doctor, Bob?
Is it the stethoscope?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you are doing, Falcon. You can't let it go down the drain when our nation is making good on its promise to all men. Come in, doctor. Is this the final checkup? Yes. But don't feel overjoyed. You survived the tests. Now you've got to survive the enemy. We faced a few tough ones in the past, sir. Yeah, super dudes with fiery eyes and hides of steel. I'm aware of all that. You two are towers of strength. We're counting on that. Go on, doctor. I feel a butt hanging in the air.
I'm sorry. Been there.
Yeah. He means they're going to take us from the inside. That's right, isn't it, Doc? They're going to reach inside us and shake us up real good. That's a good possibility, son. That's why these tests are so important. I'm hoping that we've immunized you sufficiently against the conspirators' mind weapons. I'm hoping that you won't suffer the fate which overtook many others. We understand that S.H.I.E.L.D. has lost a platoon of agents on this case. Well, we're coming back. I can promise you that, sir. I know that somehow we'll see this through. Amen to that. Then I find you two fit for action. Report to Mission Control for instructions. Good luck and good hunting. A day later, the hunters prowl the barren wastes of a remote area far removed from heavy traffic, and they're in some sort of flying contraption, Bob. How would you describe this?
I don't even know where to start, Rick, but the front of it almost it reminds me of like a dragonfly's head,
Hmm.
right? Sort of a bulbous windshield. You can see the two of them sitting at the controls. And then it has a stubby back with it looks like gosh, it looks like an oval shaped louvered vent.
Hmm.
Presumably some energy is coming out there, and then it's got very very short triangular wings jutting out either side of this stubby little craft. It's typical Kirby for sure.
Yeah, and it's got a kind of like a gray color to it as well, very drab. And we see Steve and Sam, as you mentioned, at the controls, but they are wearing like jumpsuits and military caps.
Yeah.
My guess is that nobody's been here since Geronimo, Steve. A S.H.I.E.L.D. agent sent an SOS signal from this wilderness before he vanished without a trace. A fleet of these new skimmers was sent to comb this place, but they didn't spot a thing. What makes you think we'll do any better? We've been scouring these rocks for hours. Why don't we give our eyeballs a rest and then try another sweep? Okay, that looks like a good landing spot straight ahead. And we turn the page to see what Steve was looking at. If the conspirators and their big daddy mind bombs are hiding in this boondock, it may take a century to find them. Steve, I see something. It's big, real big. It looks human too. We found a giant falcon. What are they seeing, Bob?
Well, that's exactly what they said they're seeing, Rick. It's a gigantic human looking guy standing in the middle of the desert, hurling these very large circular boulders. And he's got, unkept hair and a rough beard. And he's wearing, again, one of those sleeveless shirts. And I have trauma over that. I wore a sleeveless shirt once to a graduate class, and I got yelled at by the professor for doing that. So last time I tried to show off my guns, Rick. So
Uh-huh.
anyway, yeah, and he's grimacing and preparing to throw one of these big boulders at their skimmer.
I think it's the same character that's on the cover. It's just
He's
he's
not
got
purple.
he's not, yeah. Brace for crash. I can't dodge him. The skimmer strikes the giant and ricochets into the surrounding rocks. Straighten her out, Steve. Straighten. And there makes a noise, Bob.
Crash!
Unable to slow the careening craft, Steve fights the controls to keep it from crashing into a large stony outcropping which looms ahead. I can't hold her. We're going to hit. The crash occurs, but the impact is unexpectedly light. The huge boulders scatter like tennis balls. When the vehicle skids to a halt, they get out of the skimmer. What happened? We should be demolished. Not for bumping into these rocks. They're fakes. They're foam rubber props. Here, catch. And he throws a boulder at Sam. Hey, cut that out. You'll. The meaning of their discovery begins to register on the two superheroes, but a sound cuts short any further investigation, and that giant comes closer to them. Ah. It's the giant. That collision must have given him a cramp. He looks nasty, but he hasn't made any dangerous moves. Somehow, he seems almost childlike. I think he was playing with these bogus rocks. Never mind about his IQ. We found a real giant and phony stones. Now we better hold it right there. Who is it, Bob?
Well, it appears to be one of those soldiers slash guards that we saw on the cover, Rick, coming over the back of the hillside while Cap and Falcon were fighting that monster thingy. This guy is wearing one of those conical helmets, very much like I mentioned before, the Hessians, but also like the Coneheads from Saturday Night Live with a cutout for his face, and he's got a very Kirby looking handgun pointed
He
straight at
does.
our heroes.
Forget about that giant. He's just a freak from our labor pens. They wander off occasionally. Who are you two? Why ask us? You could see our wrecked skimmer. Civilians don't use skimmers. That's no lie. S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. Welcome to the headquarters of the Royalist Forces of America. Your honor guard is on its way now. We turn the page and we see, I don't know, about eight or so of them, and they all have weapons, and a few of them start firing at the giant. The rocks seem to spew out more armed men. They use stun guns to herd the giant into a nearby opening. Ah! How did that dumb animal get out? Someone will answer for this. Prod him this way. We'll handle him. This is all very interesting, soldier boy. But what's going to happen to us? Plenty, mister. My guess is that you'll get the treatment, in quotes. When that's over, you won't worry about anything anymore. So we're due for a treatment, eh? I don't think I'd like that. Suddenly, and he turns and he punches him. And I don't think I like you, mister.
Pow!
I've got his gun. Don't bother me with trifles. And then he hits him on the back of the head, knocking him down.
Crack!
Enough. Save all that talent for the others. We've got to take them out. Man, this is it. Taking on crazies is my thing. And Cap picks up that pistol and he fires at them.
Bam, bam!
What in blazes? The prisoners have taken a gun. I'll keep him off balance. Hit him. Go! I heard you, brother. Look out!
Pow, pow.
The royalist soldiers are not prepared for the kind of attack which follows. Nothing works like surprise. I'll take these by the bunch. And
Karak.
and then Sam takes a few of them, just boom, just runs into them and knocking them all over.
Wham.
Stop them! They're like tigers. Yeah, we're angry tigers, mister. Conspiracies bug us.
Pow.
At that moment, a gun barrel is thrust against Steve Rogers' temple. Game's over, fella. Drop it. If you don't mind me saying so, I think that someone's trying to get your attention, General. Huh? What? The man ain't jiving you, dude. I got a package here which needs delivering. Down, Steve! And he punches him, and Steve's got that old trickery where he leans over and he falls backwards over top of Steve.
Ha ha. Wham.
You cut that keeper real close. He almost took my head off. It's still on your shoulders, isn't it? We've got a breather. Let's use it to try to get the radio on our wrecked skimmer. We've hit pay dirt. The two never reached their objective. S.H.I.E.L.D. Now hold on, Bob. I think I've seen a couple of times in this comic. Why do they put quotes around S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah, that's a well. Yeah, it's a good question.
Oh.
I don't know.
I mean, just did they ever establish in the previous issue that this was S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No, I mean he said that Shield has gone out before. They lost a whole platoon looking for this place. Maybe it's not established that these two are actual, working for Shield. Maybe they're being helped by Shield. I don't know, man.
I mean, that when Henry Kissinger was there, was he with S.H.I.E.L.D. at that time, or was that like a U.S. government thing?
I thought it was just a U.S. government
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
and but Cap and Sam might feel like they are working for S.H.I.E.L.D., but they're not really working for S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know.
Could be. I don't
I
know.
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is weird though. They keep putting S.H.I.E.L.D. in quotes.
Yeah.
The two never reach their objective. S.H.I.E.L.D. will not learn of their discovery. A strange new weapon cuts them down. And there's a soldier there who is, I don't know, Bob. What kind of weapon is that?
I have no idea what this is, Rick. It is
Looks like it from a
large.
Dr. Seuss,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it kind of like, how does the projectile go from there, that tube to that tube?
Yeah.
Is
It's clearly Susian. And it goes.
hit him hard. Mind waves are insidiously accurate. They find their target swiftly and plunge beneath skin and bone to attack the brain. Cap and the Falcon scream before they fall.
Yeah!
Yeah! And we see two heads floating with a whole bunch of Kirby crackle behind them. Soon after, that stopped him. Nothing's living fast enough to outrun a mind wave launcher. It appears that S.H.I.E.L.D. has sent us two new recruits. They've superb physical specimens. We can use them. The treatment will determine whether they become soldiers or part of our freak labor force. Remove them. Tari and Hessian are not paying us to spend all day with snooping S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Yes, sir. Snap to it. Clear this area of camouflage rocks. Unlock the entrance to Barracks B. The troops inside are assembled for drill. The foam rubber boulders are easily hauled away as their concrete structure beneath them comes into full view. Make it fast. We've got a schedule to keep. Then the ranks of crack mercenary troops march out to drill. They are a takeover army, ready to move on Bicentennial Day when the great mind Bob has rendered the country defenseless.
It's always defenseless, Rick. That's always what they're going for.
Hmm. Meanwhile, somewhere in the hidden complex built by the enemy, I think it's safe to dispense with the fainting act. Thanks to those S.H.I.E.L.D. tests, These mind waves didn't hurt us a bit. Look around, Cap. We've got company. It's one of those poor creatures they refer to as mindless freaks. There's more here. This place is jammed with them. The horror of their situation is driven swiftly home as the two survey their surroundings. What do they see, Bob?
It's like a dozen or so of these creatures, like the one we encountered earlier, Rick, of all different sizes and lumpiness, degrees of lumpiness. But they all look misshapen in some way and, perhaps almost subhuman.
These bizarre creatures. We're in some sort of large stockade. I I believe they've thrown us into the labor pits. Well, I'm for making a fast exit. These weirdos are getting restless. Well, that wasn't very nice.
That was not very nice. No, judgy.
Quietly and cautiously, the new arrivals make their way to the door. It's time to gather information. Let's tap this guard. And they're kind of at a jail cell bars, and they're kind of like putting their face and hands through to talk to the guard there. Heads up, soldier. We just checked into this nutty hotel. We'd like to learn the rules. So, you two are finally awake, eh? I suppose you'd like room service too? Well, you get what's coming to you. Be certain of that. If you don't die, you'll end up doing the kind of job you're fit for. Suppose I don't like the job. Do I get the choice of quitting? You're as funny as a sawed off crutch. Nobody has any choice here. We work and obey. Someone decides for you, and you decide for these poor creatures. Picture's clear enough. One more question, okay? This labor force of mental and physical monstrosities, where on earth do they come from? From the treatment room, Mr. Smart. But you'll find out more when you and your black chum take turns in there. And then they look off to the side and they see somebody being wheeled in a gurney into that laboratory. Wheel them in. Everything is set. Our science boys are brain and gland specialists. There's no telling what a man will look like when they're finished with him. I've heard enough. So that's their new America. Soldiers and workers in the service of a ruling elite. Let's get lost in the crowd, Falcon. We've got our own changes to make. Hidden by the docile laborers from the prying eyes of the guard, Cap and the Falcon get to work. We could drop our cover, pal. They'll have to deal with Captain America and the Falcon now. You got a deal, mister. I'm for giving that treatment room a real treatment. And underneath the jumpsuits they've had is their uniforms, including Cap's shield on his back.
Amazing. Amazing.
How'd they miss that?
Yeah.
No wonder these poor devils can't think or talk. They're the victims of prefrontal lobotomies and glandular changes. I'll add a thought that'll chill you to the bone, Cap. I I think I'm on the same channel, Falcon. I've been studying these unfortunates too. You and I now know what happened to the many S.H.I.E.L.D. agents who vanished in this area. Then let's do what those men would have wanted. Let's finish their job in the name of all good men who love freedom and will fight to keep it. Let's put an end to this nest of rats. And they're in their uniforms and they look ready for action. There's more than a battle breeding fans. If you want to sweat and feel weird all over,
And I do.
don't miss the next heart stopping issue. See The World of 1984.
What I would give to see the world of 1984 again, right?
I don't know if I'd want to go back.
1984.
Yeah. And also, if you want to see that issue, come back to episode 282 in 5 weeks, and we will cover that on March 11th. Bob, what'd you think of this issue?
It's heating up, Rick. I gotta tell you, it's if like I can imagine picking this up, reading through it the first time. It's piquing my interest, right? I mean, it's like, where is this going? Who are these elites? Like, what's up with the glandular monstrosities? This is starting to get really good. There's the stress is starting to rise a little bit over the possibility of Big Daddy going off
Look,
on.
please stop. Please.
Just saying, it's I'm starting to feel sweaty and weird.
Does that have anything, Bob, to do with the I feel a butt hanging in the air?
The butt is hanging in the air. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Right. It's breezy.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right, Bob. Yeah, I agree with you. I think I say one thing about Jack Kirby, right?
Yeah.
He's got the action down, right?
Yeah.
And he has the big grand ideas.
Yeah.
And I like how he keeps playing up the Mad Bomb and the Big Daddy and how like there's like this feeling of this ominous feeling of a countdown, right? Because
Yes.
the if you are reading this in real time, it's like, oh yeah, they keep talking about the bicentennial and how everybody's talking about it and preparing for it. And it's going to be a big celebration, but oh wow, I can feel that coming, and like there's that sense of urgency here.
Yes. Yes. Right. I mean, if you're the least bit intuitive, right? That this is probably going like they may be pulling this out toward July, but you got to be wondering like what on earth is going to happen between now and July,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And I mean, Kirby jams a lot into an issue. He jams a lot into every panel. If you look at some of these panels,
Indeed.
his imagination is running wild.
All right, Bob. I go first. You went first last time,
Yeah.
and my favorite panel. And I'm so glad I'm going first because I feel like if you had taken this, I'd be so upset. I'm going with page 2-3, the double page splash.
Oh, of course you are, Rick.
Cap's little nightmare.
It's because of the Big Daddy.
Uh-huh. And
Yeah.
the post-apocalyptic scene here, which is um, got a little commandy feel. Jack Kirby, right? The last boy, right? Um, has a little bit of Fantastic Four Latveria feel. This is classic Kirby. I would say this is like really close to some of his earlier work. And when I say
Yeah.
earlier work, I mean, mid to late 60s, not
Right.
the
Right.
40s stuff.
Yeah. 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 It is a stunning recap with the three mad bombs as well, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's just very, very well done. I mean, it pulls your eye and you want to linger on it.
Yeah. And I really think that Kirby Crackle sells it.
It really does every time.
Yeah. Really, really cool. How about you, Bob? What's your favorite panel?
Well, I'm going to go. I'm working out of the omnibus, so it's the 16th page of art, if that helps, and it's the labor pen. It's Cap and Sam mixed up with the glandular monstrosities in that 2/3 page splash.
Mm.
I love this panel because it just features such a diversity of characters. I mean, they're all uh, experimentoids. That's what I'm calling them.
Uh-huh.
I just coined that one. So Marvel, if you're
Good for you.
listening, you got to pay me if you use that. Experimentoids. And there's probably what a dozen and a half of them here. And
There's 18.
there's 18. All right. What's that?
Dozen and a half.
Okay. And just checking my math. And but every single one of them is different.
Yeah.
I mean, how much time did it take to draw that panel?
Yeah. And it kind of reminds me of which comes later, like 8 years, well, maybe 7 years later, when Mike Zeck does all of those mutoids in Zola and Zemo's dungeon. Remember that? And
Yes.
they're all different.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
wonder if this kind of inspired him.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's a great thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Bob, what you putting on a t-shirt?
it's that lower left panel, last page, Rick.
Mm,
Yeah,
you
Captain
stole it.
Falcon.
You
Yes, I
stole it.
know. I
Darn
know.
it.
It was my second choice. It was my plan B, but I'm going with plan B as my plan A this time.
But no, go with your plan A. That way I can have this.
Then let's do what those men would have wanted. Let's finish their job. In the name of all good men who love freedom and will fight to keep it, let's put an end to this nest of rats, Rick. I'm going to put that on a shirt, right? Wear
Yeah,
that around
I
for.
totally agree. That was mine.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. And I don't have a plan B. So I'm going to have to quickly scan the comic. And what was your plan A? I'm just curious.
My plan A was the lower left panel on what would have been the 13th page of art, where he
Uh-huh.
says, "We're angry tigers, mister, and conspiracies bug us."
Ooh. Oh, I do like that.
That's a good one, isn't it?
It
Yeah,
is. The
yeah, that's a good
conspiracies bug
bug
us.
us.
I I
It's
I
timeless.
do like that.
It's timeless for
All
sure.
right. I'm gonna go with the next page though. I'm gonna go with the Steve and Sam heads just yelling with the Kirby crackle behind it.
Oh,
That's
all
just
right.
gonna go
Yeah,
across my chest
nice.
on the days that I feel like yelling. And I'm just gonna go out there with that on my shirt, going like,
Nice,
come on, bring it.
nice, nice. What about your time capsule, Rick?
Well, Bob, I'm going to go with page 11. And so for those who don't have the physical copy, that is the one where um, the I don't know, the bad guy pulls out the picture of
Ooh, yeah,
Captain Stephen Rogers of the Continental
yeah,
Army.
right.
That's going in my time capsule because I do believe that that is a first appearance.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
How about you?
Oh, I'm doing another first appearance, Rick. It's the first appearance on page 5 of William Towery,
Mm-hmm.
which an interesting character, right? And I don't know if you recall, but the story. I always thought, having read this a couple times, I thought, oh, William Towery, William Towery. Now he's shown up in several books, right? He's been most recently in the Coates run. He showed up.
Oh yeah,
He was in a couple
yeah.
issues of
Hmm.
Thunderbolts, and he was in issue 7. No, not him, but his ancestor and Steve Rogers' ancestor. Their mix up was featured in issue 7 of the Sentinel of Liberty run, the first volume,
Mm-hmm.
written by Wade. So we know what actually happened in that duel as a result of that story. And
We
it
should
went,
probably do that as an upcoming episode, huh?
yeah, it went down a little bit different than
Mm-hmm.
Mr. William Towery would suggest. So interesting first appearance. Like a
Yeah.
lot of things in this book, a lot of things in this arc, Kirby is dropping little Easter eggs along the way
Mm-hmm.
in preparation for the bicentennial. So the helmets of the guards, General Hessian is a riff on the Hessians, who were
Mm-hmm.
mercenary soldiers from the Hesse Cassel area of Germany that George
Mm-hmm.
III hired, and
I love
so
their trucks.
yes, right, get them for Christmas. Yeah, the little anyway. The but he'll continue to drop these little Easter eggs along the way in these stories, which I think is, and even if the whites of their eyes quote
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning that you pointed out. So very neat.
One of the ads in this is kind of cool too because it's the original 1976 spiral calendar,
Oh, that's nice.
right?
Yeah,
For 3.95, you could mail
yeah,
away for that.
yeah.
And then they did a reprint of that for
They
this
did.
year,
Yeah,
and yeah,
and I believe didn't they use that cover for a
yeah.
variant cover, right?
I know I've
For
seen it somewhere. Yeah,
yeah, variant cover for one of the recent runs. I don't know,
yeah,
issue 5 or 6 or something. Neato.
yeah. All right. Well, that was part two. As I mentioned, come back, uh, episode 282 for part three, where we cover Captain America 195. Bob, any final words?
No, looking forward to the next issue. in this story, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna see what happens to Big Daddy.
Uh-huh. Next episode, it's a doozy. Might be a little longer than normal. And we're going to be doing a recap, Bob. And for those who don't know what a recap is, that is when we take a comic story and we don't act it out. We don't go panel by panel, but instead we go through the story and talk about the story and explain what's happening and give you all the side notes and commentary and tangents that you expect, but without going through it panel by panel and acting it out.
Mm.
And we are going to be doing, Bob, a story that I have been itching to do since we started this podcast 5 years ago. And that is Civil War.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. Yeah, that's going to take us some time, but that'll be a lot of fun. We haven't done a recap in so long.
We
So,
haven't.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's 7 issues. And I think, who better to bring back than someone else who has done a recap with us in the past a couple of times, and that is John Wallersoul.
He is highly experienced.
He is. He
Yeah.
did a couple of recaps with us. So come back next episode for that. It should be a doozy. And if you don't mind, please, on this episode, rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen. If you're on YouTube right now, you know what to do. Just hit that thumbs up button. Give us a like. Leave us a comment on YouTube, on Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple. Please make sure to call us classy. And, if you have any interest in supporting the show, you can also go to buymeacoffee.com/Cap Comic Fans. And as always, we really do appreciate it. So for Bob Lucius, I'm Rick Verbanis, and you have been listening to another episode of the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast.